Oh, shoot, I almost forgot to share that. We should be good on this Monday morning. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We're about to get into it. Shout out to the gang. I think y'all can see me in here. Oh yeah, we should be good to go. Welcome everybody. Welcome to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the ClassE Morning Show. I'm your host, ClassE at patreon.com/ClassEbeats. By the way, the link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment in the chat. Got an interesting show for y'all today. We've got a lot to get into. We're going to talk about some updates with David. We're going to get into Fani Willis, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones. I know, I don't think we talked about Alex Jones on this show, but it's going to be an interesting one to say the least. So thank y'all for being in here. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. But before we get into it, I got to say what's up to the people who are in the building, man. The ones who make the show the amazing place that it is. Good morning to all of you in here. Of course, first, we've got my awesome, amazing, beautiful Amy E in here. Shout out to Amy E in the chat. Y'all show her some love. Go make sure you subscribe to her channel as well. Thank you for being in here, Amy. Always supporting and showing out. Les Cleaver's in the building. Good morning. We've got, oh man, I don't know how to say this name, but shout out to our friend over in Finland. Wow, way over there. Good to see you in here. Thanks for stopping by the show. And shout out to the member gang too. I see you're highlighted in that beautiful green. If y'all haven't checked out the memberships, make sure you do that. You can click the join button right on the ClassE YouTube channel. That'll allow you to get access to all the members only content. You also get instant access to any videos we drop here on the channel, as well as your name highlighted in that beautiful green. You get access to custom emojis that we use here in the live chat and many, many other things. So thank y'all for being here as well. It's good to see y'all this morning. Now, I do not ask for much on the show, but the one thing I do ask is that you like the video on your way in. Likes are free. It helps the channel continue to grow. It lets the algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show. It shares the video, the channel, and this live stream with more people. So thank you to the nearly 600 of y'all that have liked the video so far. Man, y'all are showing out this morning. Thank y'all so much. Even before we start the live stream, 600 of y'all have liked the video. I appreciate it so much. So thank y'all for doing that. Also, if you're feeling extra generous, you can share the video as well. Just click the share button. It's got an arrow that's curved pointed to the right. Allows you to share it to Facebook, Instagram, X, any social media platform you're on. You can even share it to your group chat via text message too. And I will also be reading super chats as we go throughout the show. So thank you to those of you who continue to support the channel and go above and beyond and drop a super chat in there as well. We don't ask for it, but I know a lot of y'all support that way and like to keep the lights on here on the ClassE Morning Show. So thank you. And also, yeah, we have some thank yous for gifts memberships. Thank you to everybody who's gifted memberships. It's usually always Amy. Amy be in here gifting memberships like crazy. So shout out to Amy for gifting those memberships. And again, we have got, as usual, a lot of content to cover today. And if y'all haven't yet, please make sure you hit the notification bell, because sometimes, even if we don't cover it here on live, I do have videos that we create and record off of live stream as well. So y'all may have missed some of the things we talked about. Like this morning, for example, we had a video that dropped about The Weeknd. If you know who The Weeknd is, he's an artist that just did an insane deal selling parts of his catalog for $1 billion while still maintaining some of his rights. So we talked about that this morning. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure you do that. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into it here because we've got a lot to talk about on the show. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Good to see all of y'all in here, and big shout out to the members. We've got Virginia in the building. We've got Finland, which is amazing. I want to visit Finland one day. We'll have to put that on the list. Where else? Yep, y'all are in Virginia too. A lot of people in Virginia in here. And then Amy, of course, gifting memberships this morning again. Amy's just a gift that keeps on giving. Always so generous. Shout out to Amy gifting the 5 memberships. Again, if you get or if you've received a membership from Amy, make sure you say thank you. Also, as I mentioned earlier, go support her on her channel. Amy has some amazing content she drops. We have premieres we do over there as well. You get to interact in the live chat while we're watching the video. It's a lot of fun. The content Amy has on her channel is definitely binge watchable. All right, you could sit there and watch the entire channel for hours and hours and hours on end. So make sure y'all go check her out, and we'll drop the link to Amy's channel in the chat as well. Shout out to Amy. All right, Finding Dory got a membership from Amy, it looks like, as well. Yeah, thank you to Amy, man. Always showing so much love. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, oh man, we've got another update here. Another crazy update when it comes to the David investigation into the death and, according to the LAPD, homicide of Celeste Rivas. Now, we know medical examiner is continuing to struggle, haven't been able to hear or find out about a cause of death yet, but there's a lot of information that's been acquired from TMZ and other news outlets about how the body was found in the trunk, or the hood, I should say, of David's Tesla, and what went on surrounding that. Now we're finding out new information about what went on and what happened leading up to Celeste's murder. And it looks like that this had been planned. Not only was it planned, but whoever did this to Celeste was trying to find different ways to dispose of her body. Because listen to this. The New York Post reports that a burn cage incinerator is advertised to burn at 1600 degrees was discovered at the Hollywood Hills mansion that singer David was renting at the time the body of the teen girl was found in the trunk of his Tesla. What? According to a private detective hired by the property's owner, and we're going to hear him in a video in a second. The incinerator, which was still boxed and unused, was discovered inside the residence that Steve Fisher, who was hired to comb through the $20,000 a month pad, or the a month pad paid by its owner. Here's what the incinerator looks like. And let's get into this article from the New York Post. What did they say? A burn cage incinerator that burns at 1600 degrees, as we said, was discovered in the trunk of David's Tesla. The private detective revealed that the disturbing discovery in a post on X Tuesday, describing it as something you would expect to find on a farm rather than a home in Hollywood Hills. Is there something there? I don't believe in coincidences. There has to be something here. The so-called burn cage was advertised to burn at 1600 degrees, according to Fisher, who posted the photo of the box on social media. On the box, it read, "Professional power done right." Incinerators are illegal to use in LA County, he added. Some will argue that this item was intended to be a prop for a video. Maybe. If that were the case, it raises several obvious questions. Why would a 55-pound burn cage be delivered to a private residence instead of directly to the prop designer or production house, Fisher wrote? Why would it be in David's Tesla? And why would David need to purchase it himself? Those are the questions I would ask. Why would it be ordered before departing to an extended world tour? Great question. And why was it never used in the video production? Another great question. David, whose real name is David Austin Burks, he's 20 years old, was in the middle of his Withered World tour when the remains of Celeste Rivas, and she was 14, were discovered in the trunk of his Tesla on September 8th. The romantic homicide singer canceled the remaining dates for his tour, which was slated to include performance at the Greek Theater in LA, and that's not happening. Rivas's body was discovered in the Tesla after tow lot workers smelled something foul coming from the impound. The vehicle was parked less than a half a mile from the Hollywood Hills rental property where the burn cage was delivered. Cops raided the property and seized several items of evidence, as they say, on September 17th, according to the LAPD. Let's actually go back and we're going to hear from the investigator himself over on Law and Crime and see what he has to say about this entire situation. It's getting crazy out here.
Okay, now we got to talk about this update. And this update concerns Steve Fisher. We've had him on the program before. Steve is the private investigator who was hired by the owner of the property where David had reportedly been staying in the Hollywood Hills. That property was apparently near the Tesla. That property, by the way, was searched by authorities. Now, Steve has come out and made some comments about his investigation, including things like this.
But I will say this, there are some things that, and I'm talking physical evidence, that was at that house that is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her. And it's scary, sadistic stuff. And that's why we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't. But it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot of time and things just, their timing was just off as far as.
And they must not have any fingerprints, any cell phone data or anything, because it's just shocking to me there have been no arrests here. someone was planning this, or David. It's just a lot of coincidence surrounding what was going on with him, including his own lyrics and music, because a lot of it points to this type of situation. Crazy
have
stuff.
To do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot of time, and things just, their timing was just off as far as getting this done. But there's a few things that were just like, will blow your mind.
And he was recently discussed on another episode of Sidebar, where he made a post on X seemingly fighting back about potentially being held in contempt of court for allegedly talking about or discussing a case that he had seemingly testified about. He really fought back against that allegation as well. And we assume this was about the ClassE Rivas Hernandez case. Not definitively confirmed, but when you read between the lines of his message, it seemed to be that. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. But now, given what he has said about his findings, this is what we need to talk about. He just posted this on X. Quote, "Although my words have been misquoted by some, what I actually said about certain items found at the Doheny address was that they were, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. One of those items was a burn cage incinerator, advertised to burn at 1,600 degrees. Human cremations are typically performed at approximately 1,400 degrees. An incinerator is not legal to use within city limits and serves no legitimate purpose at a residential property in the Hollywood Hills. Some will argue that this item was intended as a prop for a video. If that were the case, it raises several obvious questions. Why would a 55-pound bird cage be delivered to a private residence instead of directly to a prop designer or production house? Why would it be ordered before departing on an extended world tour? And why was it never used in any video production? It is also important to note that there were additional items present that could be used in conjunction with the burn cage. To be very clear, this burn cage was not used. It was still new and in the box. However, given that ClassE Rivas Hernandez's remains were ultimately found in the Tesla trunk, the presence of an incinerator at the same residence associated with that vehicle necessarily raises questions about intent. The burn cage was not taken during the search warrant, and because it was not used, it appears it's not of importance to any possible criminal investigation. But we think it's important context, even if not criminal. The burn cage and other related items were delivered to the residence under a false name, although the deliveries were accepted at the property. Attached is a...
This is so stupid, man. Whoever did this was really dumb. So again, why are there... It should be simple to figure out who ordered this and why it was there and how they were planning to use it. They can't have an answer for everything. And we've seen people get arrested for less. The fact that someone's still roaming around LA or wherever they are, and all of this circumstantial evidence is just pointing in one direction. It's crazy to me. I mean, you would think somebody would be talking by now. This is insane.
A photograph of the actual burn cage incinerator as found at the residence, along with an image from Dr. Burns' advertising materials for the product. Hashtag ClassE Rivas Hernandez, hashtag David. And he does include those photos, by the way. What do we make of this? Let me bring on Matt Irvine to talk about this, retired detective, law enforcement instructor. Matt, so good to have you here.
Wow.
Quite the statement from Steve Fisher, making it public. Your thoughts if this is true?
Well, I think Steve Fisher's remarks are very well considered. I cannot think of a legitimate, innocent reason why a burn cage would be received at a private residence,
under a false
why it be
name.
ordered under a false name. I also, frankly,
let's
can't
actually
understand.
just start there. Keep your thought.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is about a false name. You know, if he's a celebrity, he doesn't want people knowing that he's staying there. Thoughts?
Fair enough, but if he's...
Ain't nobody, did y'all know who David was before this? Let's be real. I mean, I have not looked up David on Spotify, but I would consider myself in the music industry, and I didn't know who David was. I mean, he's got 24 million monthly listeners on Spotify, so he's got a pretty big fan base, but I hadn't heard of him. Who's checking for in LA of all places? Really? You know how many celebrities are in LA that are bigger than David? Come on, bro.
Got a bunch of people that he's working with because he intends to use this as part of a concert tour, as part of a video. He's got a whole staff of people that can order something for him. I don't understand why he would need to do it under an assumed name. Exactly. But your point is well taken. That could be an innocent explanation. But again, to Steve's point, if that is indeed the intent for this item, why is it delivered to a private residence? Why is it not with him on tour? Why is it not taken to some location to be used for some kind of a video? That said, I
Crazy.
also can't think of a good reason why LAPD didn't seize this item. I mean, if you're conducting an investigation into a body found in the trunk of a car, one of your working theories has got to be that this body was placed there in order to move it from the scene where the death occurred and then transport it to some third location to conceal it or dispose of it. And if you're looking at the possibility that somebody is trying to dispose of a body, and you search the residence of a person of interest in that case, and you find what is essentially a home crematorium, why don't you take that? I know that when you're serving a search warrant, you can only seize the things that the court authorized you to seize and that you told the court you expected to find there. I'm sure nobody expected to find this item there. But what you do in a search warrant when you find something evidentiary that was unexpected is you write what's called a piggyback warrant. It's a simple addendum where you say, hey, judge, while serving that search warrant that you issued, we found this other thing. We think it's evidence. We'd like to seize that too. It's a typical one-page addendum that's tacked onto your warrant. I've never seen a judge not sign one of those, and I don't know.
And I mean, to think that a body was dismembered, why would you just assume, you know what? That's probably the only body that was there. We've got Celeste's body. They didn't burn it up, so we'll just keep it moving. I'm sure that box means nothing. Let's just move on. When does that happen? Again, we've seen property seized for less. For less. Think about the Young Thug case. We just covered this a couple of days ago. Think about what's going on there. This man was accused of X, Y, and Z in a RICO case. They took his entire everything just because they could. I mean, how was a car implicated in any of these crimes? Was that a part of the investigation? Cash? How was $150,000 in cash that Young Thug had involved in any way in this crime? But you're going to tell me that the LAPD isn't going to seize an incinerator? What is going on here?
Why
man?
that wasn't done in this case.
So let me ask you this, Matt. You could be 100% right? First of all, assuming this is true, that a burn cage was delivered there, and assuming for a moment that law enforcement didn't seize it. Okay, let's say that's accurate. I guess the question would be either, like you said, it was beyond the realm, it was beyond the scope of a search warrant. Maybe they didn't amend it for whatever reason. Or is it possible, when we're trying to think about what happened to Celeste, her body showed absolutely no sign of burning whatsoever, and they couldn't definitively establish that the purchase, the delivery of this incinerator was related to her in any way?
Well, that's a fair statement. I mean, and as Steve Fisher mentioned,
dead.
It was unused, but it seems like because of the circumstances that this body was found in the trunk of the car, that the crime of disposal of the body was incomplete, that there was a plan, or at least the beginnings of a plan, to conceal or dispose of the body, and for one reason or another, that plan was not fully executed.
And the question would be why? Again, something must have happened as David was about to go on tour, that they just left the body in the car and then the car got towed. I mean, did they freak out when the car got towed? They forgot about it? How would you just forget about a car that has Celeste Rivas's body in it? None of this is making sense. From what's going on with the medical examiner, to what we're hearing from the LAPD, to what the investigators are finding, to the fact that no one's been arrested in this case now that it's ruled a homicide, doesn't make sense to me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Man, this is absolutely insane. And we got 8,000 of y'all in the building. Thank you to everybody that's here. Please, guys, I don't ask for much on this channel. The one thing I do ask and beg is that you all please make sure you like the video. Likes are free. It takes less than a second to do, and it helps us out a lot. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anything too. I see Les Cleaver's in here. Oh, Les, you got the week off, Les Cleaver. I just remembered that. Enjoy your time off, man. Mary's in here as well. Good morning. Good to see you. Who else did I miss in here? Shout out to everybody that's joining us. Dog Mom looks like got membership from Amy. That's super dope. Okay, we'll keep it moving. Les, enjoy your time off, man. You deserve it. One of the hardest working guys I know. That guy does not take any days off. So we're going to get into something that's a little bit interesting here, and let's talk about it. Shortly after Candace Owens had her meeting with Erica Kirk about the entire attack on Turning Point USA, she did a Q&A live stream on Instagram Live. Obviously, this is a little bit difficult to find, but I was able to find it here on X, posted by The Glue. and we're going to look into it. And I want to get y'all's thoughts on some of the answers Candace Owens was giving. Again, I'm still standing 10 toes down on what I said about her changing her tune after her meeting with Erica Kirk. And we've somewhat seen her shy away from attacking. We shouldn't say attacking, from commenting on Erica Kirk specifically. So let's get into this and see what Candace had to say on her Q&A on Instagram Live. Let me make sure this isn't muted. I apologize, y'all. Give me 1 second. Here we go.
We want to do a live stream. You saw what Blake did. They reached out again. They said they wanted to do a live stream with just being Erica. I said, that's great, like whatever. Then they said the temperature was too high, so they want to do it private. What was my option there? To say, no, let's not do it at all unless it's public. If I had said that and they didn't make it happen, then the headline would have been that I was scared to have the face-to-face. So obviously I'm going to actually take the offer to sit down and ask all of my questions.
And also, just for some clarity, one of the reasons that Candace, it was easier for her to meet with Erica Kirk. Candace Owens is in Tennessee, in Nashville. Erica Kirk just happened to be in Nashville, or was going to be in Nashville at the same time. So I don't know if Erica Kirk was there already and she met with Candace that way, or she was going to Nashville to meet with Candace specifically so they could hash this out. So that made it a lot easier than Candace figuring out or trying to figure out how to leave and get to Phoenix, Arizona to meet with the Turning Point boys.
There's nothing hidden there. Like, I just took the opportunity that was given to me, and I still would. And I think it would be good to have a public live stream. Like, I've always been open to that. You know, you can't sit here and say that your intent is to get answers and then shut down an opportunity to actually get answers. I mean, I went there with a notebook. I had a list of questions. Basically everything was done on the show. I had planes, my color coordinated planes. I asked, it was 4.5 hours. I obviously could not have told you every minute of what happened during that sit down, but just to make sure that you guys don't feel like I'm not telling you something, ask me whatever it is that you want to ask me right now about the sit down that happened. Like, there was no secrets. There was nothing that I'm keeping from you. In many ways, there's a lot that I still need to process. Like, I was just trying to give you guys like the high notes today. There's a lot that I need to process. There's a lot of interdynamics or whatever, like I explained to you today, things that didn't make sense to me. But I mean, what am I going to do with this information other than put it out there? So I will let you guys ask me anything. Did Charlie want to divorce Erica? That I saw, there's like some account, I guess, that trolls on X, and they put things out and they're like, Candace said this. I have never made that claim. I never heard that claim. I never came across that. And the person that said that came from me actually and completely made that up. So that did not come from me. Really, what is your take on Erica? Is she covering up, or really does she not know? So what I always say is, like, you can clock a lie, right? So let's start with that. I did. True. Just a couple of days ago when I said I was on Jimmy Dore's show, and I was like 100% Charlie had these messages, okay? To assign the motivation for why, if that was a lie and that they shouldn't own it face to face or whatever, to assign a motivation to that is there could be 1,000 things. Are you scared the company's going to go under? Are you trying to, like, you know, protect and make the Jewish donors happy? Like, that is definitely, like, I thought it was a very weird choice for her to do Barry. I did. I just was like, why would you do Barry Weiss? Kind of, the PR must know what the vibe is right now of how people are feeling about Israel. Keep the donors happy. We all kind of feel like Israel had something to do with it. I mean, I definitely do now believe. I mean, right away, I never thought they had anything to do with it until BB was doing the rounds. And so I felt like it was a weird choice to do that. But it's like, are you motivated because you want your Jewish donors to be happy? The same people that are pressuring Charlie. Yeah, I think that I had the same reaction to that everybody else had. And I was very clear about that. Like, that was my reaction is, you know, do I think that she definitely knows some stuff that she's not telling? Obviously, she's not going to tell me everything that she knows. Obviously, she's going to protect the interests of the business beyond being honest with Candace Owens when we don't have a professional business relationship. And
that's what I stated previously. I think this whole entire thing wasn't about Charlie. It wasn't about the investigation. It wasn't really even about Blake Neff or Andrew Colvin. It was about the money. And Candace alluded to that, her first live stream she did after she met with Erica Kirk. She said, hey, listen, I talked to Erica, and Erica was like, listen, we got stuff we're trying to do here. Why you got to tell people not to give us their money? And Candace like, I see that. You're right. Hey, go get your money. It is what it is. So there's a lot going on here that we probably won't even know about from Candace.
I think probably the number one thing that was weird to me is the Hamptons summit. I just have a really bad feeling in my stomach about what happened at the Hamptons. There's just too many lies surrounding the Hamptons, too many white lies surrounding the Hamptons. I just feel in my gut that what happened at the Hamptons is there's something weird going on there. Like, gonna keep it honest with you. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I would say about that. This person, am I going the wrong way? Oh, it goes the opposite way now. JK. What surprised you the most about the conversation? That they owned so much of it, and I don't know if that's like partially because they knew that I had the information, or like, I don't know if it was motivated by the right thing, or if it was more like, okay, the internet is clocking us repeatedly and we've tried the crisis PR maneuver and that's not working. It keeps backfiring. And so our last gig here is to try to be forthcoming about things that we were dishonest about. I don't know these people. I can't assign motives to it, but that's what I was genuinely surprised about. That they were willing to admit that this stuff wasn't true. One thing that I will definitely say, and that's why I brought this up on the show today, that going back to the last question, I'm very uncomfortable with the vibe.
We'll get into part 2 here shortly. Boom.
Definitely say, and that's why I brought this up on the show today, that going back to the last question, I'm very uncomfortable with the vibe that everyone is putting out. Like Tyler's the shit. What? Why? Where? How? You have what we have. This is not convincing at all. So why are so many people saying it? That feels to me, and I feel right now, that there has never been more money spent on a PR campaign, plausibly ever. I think, and I'm not being funny, I think this is $1 billion. $1 billion campaign to say that Tyler Robinson acted alone on the roof.
Yeah, and not to mention that you've seen from Turning Point USA, and we talked about it, Andrew Colvett saying Tyler Robinson is guilty, people getting up during AmFest and saying that Tyler Robinson is guilty, people on podcasts saying Tyler Robinson is guilty. What happened with innocent until proven guilty? They are so desperate and so hell-bent on saying that Tyler Robinson was the one who killed Charlie Kirk. And we barely even seen any evidence. The only thing we know is that Charlie Kirk knew he was going to get killed sooner or later. Or he knew he wasn't going to be able to, quote, see this thing through, as he said. So how they come to this conclusion is beyond me. I guess they're just trusting the FBI. Okay.
Despite no evidence that could convince somebody that that's what happened. That's the kind of money I think it is. And so that's the kind of stuff that in my gut signals to me that Israel could be involved, because that's the only country that has that kind of sway. Like I said on my show today, it's not the Egyptian lobby that has that kind of sway in America. So yeah, that's the vibe that I get from what we're seeing. People that don't normally do that sort of thing saying stupid stuff. The evidence is just overwhelming that he did this. And I talked to a lawyer, and the lawyer is like, we don't have anything that the public doesn't have. And I'm like, so what's going on here? That's kind of my feeling. This person says, where is TPUSA's video footage? I did get that answer. I want to make sure I'm recalling this correctly. They said that in terms of the SD cards went to the FBI. And that after that, because they had the ops, I told them, I will never feel good about the Terrell thing. That was weird. That conversation was weird. He lied to me a lot. And by the way, I should be clear that I'm hearing that a lot of people are getting their families are being threatened. Obviously, me saying that I don't trust Terrell is not an excuse to go after somebody's family. I know that feels really patronizing for me to say that, but just to be clear.
That's funny.
But regarding Terrell, they said that it was the live stream footage that they also have back at home, because he said the ops were watching it back at Turning Point USA, and that footage is still there. So they have footage at Turning Point USA, and the feds got the SD cards. That was what I was told. the dance was not traditionally Jewish. I think you're talking about that. Yeah, it was Romani, right? I'm pretty sure. This person asking, what the F? Guys, I'm just answering your questions. I see all the waves and I love you back. But what surprised you? I already said that. Okay, am I like slow? Does it scroll up or does it scroll down? Okay, whatever. So the main, yeah, I guess that's the main point. Like, any questions that you want to ask, I'm happy to answer it. Like, I mean, it really was like a 4-hour conversation. And I was nervous about, like, I hate to say this, but like, I was worried about my safety. Like, I've been pretty clear that I think that there are people involved at Turning Point, and I couldn't really kind of, I want to say, like, it didn't make sense to me, and I communicated, it didn't make sense to me why they felt so confident that people at Turning Point weren't involved. You have a massive organization, you have bad blood between people at the organization, you've got people that have various addictions at the organization, people that are lying right now at the organization that are doing weird things. Why is it such a far stretch to think that somebody could have had something to do with Charlie's assassination, especially like a financial motive? Even if there's a
somebody mentioned in a comment I saw on X that, hey, listen, even Jesus was betrayed by Judas. He only had 12 people around him. So again, you never know. You never know. And I'm with Candace on this as well. You got a big organization, a lot of people involved. There were clear issues with donors and where money was going, because as we saw, and as was backed up by Turning Point, Andrew Colvett, Charlie Kirk was getting ready to implement something that would look into how money was being spent, where the money was going, what was happening. And that's not because everybody was up to par. There need to be some changes there. So again, there's something there. I'll leave a link into these full 4-part series of videos from Candace Owens and her IG live. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments in the chat. Are we going to see more about Erica Kirk and Turning Point from Candace? Or things going to die down? We'll have to wait and see. And we've got, y'all are still, man, shout out to y'all showing major love. Those likes are looking beautiful. Jesus fed 5,000 people with the tuna fish sandwich. Yeah, shout out to Jesus, man. Shout out to Jesus. He was out there going crazy. This whole situation with Turning Point. Again, I'm still interested to see how it plays out with Candace and what direction she chooses to take, because again, maybe she got a lot of answers from Turning Point. We haven't. We don't understand what is going on, and still, okay, that person ran and got the SD cards and took the cameras and the FBI got them, but it's still strange that was someone's first thought. We still have more questions about what Mikey was doing. Frank Turek, he talked about what went down, and now it's conflicting with what Erica said about Charlie fearing for his life. Obviously, Erica said, oh, you know what? My bad. I didn't look at his Signal app, or I didn't look at Telegram. And it seems like there was something there. I was just talking about text messages. It's going to be interesting to see. Shout out to all of y'all in here. Thank y'all so much for the love. Over 600 likes. We got 8,000 of y'all in here. Keep those likes going, y'all. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. And I see y'all were talking about Fani in the building, so we're going to get into Fani Willis right now. I've got a lot of smoke for Fani Willis in this entire election interference thing. It's time. We have to know the truth on what's going on here. Talked about it in another video that now we got to hear from the Fulton County Board of Elections. And they said, oh yeah, by the way, there are about 300,000 votes that weren't signed off on and didn't get calculated correctly. We got Fani Willis up here at a Senate committee hearing talking about the corruption and the criminals that came into her county, my county, our county, and committed crimes. But now you're going to say that we have 315,000 votes that were illegally certified, and you want to attack and indict and go after the then former president, the now 47th president, for making a phone call? We're going to talk about it here in a second because there's a lot more to this than I think is realized. And now that we get to go back and have some hindsight into this situation, things are starting to look weird. You might be wondering, what in the world am I talking about? Well, I talked about it in another video. I'll leave a link to that video in the description, but I'll also play it for you here. Fulton County Board of Elections attorney Ann B admits that 315,000 votes were illegally certified. Check this out.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule.
It was a violation of the rule. Whoops. Sorry, guys. It was 5 years ago. We're fine. Let me rewind that one more time. I'll let it play through.
I've not seen the tapes myself, but we do not dispute that the tapes were not signed. It was a violation of the rule. Since 2020, again, we have new leadership and a new building and a new board and new standard operating procedures. And since then, the training has been enhanced. The poll watchers are trained specifically. They've got to sign the tapes in the morning, and they've got to sign the tapes when they're run at the end of the day. When the tapes come back to the hub for, with all the documentation, they are checked again. And if somebody forgot to sign a tape, then Fulton initiates an investigation. But we don't dispute the allegation.
Yeah, and of course, we're just going to blindly trust Fulton County doing an investigation. Get out of here, man. It's such BS. Such BS. And we've had the full article here that we talked about. Again, this happened in the 2020 election. So let's get into what went down as a result of this. And I'm going to read this and I'll play the video for you guys. The Georgia State Election Board hearing admits Fulton County violated rules and certified 315,000 early votes without poll workers' signatures in 2020. This is exactly what the president said happened. And this is exactly what he got in trouble for, making a phone call and saying, hey, man, there's no way. I look like I was about to win Georgia. And then all of a sudden, it turns out that Biden won. How is that even possible? And we're going to hear it from the president himself. And this is basically what caused or what pushed or what moved things in the direction that Fani Willis was able to indict the president. Listen to this phone call.
In Fulton, where they dumped ballots, you will find that you have many that aren't even signed, and you have many that are forgeries. Okay? You know that. You know that. You have no doubt about that. And you will be at 11,779 within minutes, because Fulton County is totally corrupt, and so is she totally corrupt. And they're going around playing you and laughing at you behind your back, Brad. Whether you know it or not, they're laughing at you. And you've taken a state that's a Republican state, and you've made it almost impossible for a Republican to win because of cheating, because they cheated like nobody's ever cheated before.
Now, you all might be wondering, all right, why are we still talking about this? ClassE, you already covered this. You already talked about it. Well, there's a part of this that we didn't get into. And here's the part that we didn't address. So this was the tweet that we saw from Clay Travis, and he said, so Fulton County, Georgia, Atlanta now admits they completely violated the law with their 2020 vote tally. Read it below. This not only cost President Trump the state, it also cost Republicans a Senate seat, which gave the Democrats control in 2020. And look who we have here. The man himself, Rudy Giuliani, saying 3 words, told you so. Now, why is this important? Why is Rudy Giuliani saying, I told you so? Well, we've got to do a little bit of a rewind and look into what happened with Rudy Giuliani. Obviously, he was one of the ones that was indicted in this entire election interference case. And one of the things he did was merely speak out against the company that trained and provided the voting machines and said, hey, y'all messed up. Something's not right here. There needs to be an investigation into this because the votes aren't looking right. Rudy Giuliani was ruined by the Democrats for calling them out on the stolen 2020 election, allegedly in Georgia. Bankrupted, disbarred, charged, and forced to pay $148 million in damages to some ladies we talked about previously, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. Now it's confirmed the Democrats stole the election, allegedly. Rudy Giuliani better be made whole. So what happened here with Rudy Giuliani? Well, he spoke out against some of the things that were happening during this 2020 election. One of the reasons he got in trouble, one of the reasons he had to pay the settlement, one of the reasons that he was disbarred and charged in this way. And we talked about Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss getting these medals from President Joe Biden at the time because of the work that they did during the election. Is that weird? Is that odd? Yes, it absolutely is. Now, guess what? We have this video footage that it's not new footage. This has been seen before and reported on about Ruby Freeman, one of the women who received the medal and who was upset with Rudy Giuliani for saying they didn't do their job. Check this out. Ruby Freeman, remember her? She ran ballots through the counter multiple times in Georgia to steal the election, allegedly. Giuliani called her out and was crushed by our government. Then Biden rewarded her with the medal, as we know. This is what happens again if people don't pay. Look at this video. Yes, this is real. Yes, this is not AI.
Evidence of a poll worker named Ruby Freeman running the same stack of ballots through the counting machines multiple times. Ironically, Ruby Freeman was later given the Presidential Citizens Medal by Joe Biden for her work during the 2020 election.
Again, I cannot wait to see Fani Willis speak out on this, or do y'all think she's going to remain silent? Because this is very interesting. Now, Rudy Giuliani said, oh, no, we're not doing this. This is a mistake. There's some corruption going on here. And this is what happened as a result of that.
New tonight, the Colorado-based Dominion Voting Systems has reached a settlement in its $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani.
Yes, billion with the B, guys. 1.3 billion.
New tonight, the Colorado-based Dominion Voting Systems has reached a settlement in its $1.3 billion defamation lawsuit against Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City and former personal lawyer to President Trump. Dominion sued Giuliani in 2021 after he led President Trump's efforts to cast doubt on 2020 election results, alleging Dominion systems were easily manipulated. Terms of the settlement have not been released.
Now, the only reason he got sued is because he said their systems were easily manipulated. When we see, and this is an alleged, Ruby Freeman loading multiple votes into the machines that Rudy Giuliani claimed were easily manipulated. So what happened to Rudy Giuliani in this case?
$50 million. This morning, Rudy Giuliani, former President Trump's one-time attorney, ordered to pay nearly $150 million to two former Georgia elections workers after they say he ruined their reputations.
They got paid.
Lies about the 2020 election. The disgraced former New York mayor defiant.
I don't regret a damn thing.
The Washington, D.C. federal jury ordering Giuliani to pay 3 times more than the plaintiffs were seeking. More than $33 million in compensatory damages, $40 million for emotional distress, and $75 million in punitive damages. All after.
Hold on. We got to play this for a second again. Look at this. Federal jury said, we're going to give them a little bit more than they asked for. 33 million compensatory damages, 40 million for emotional distress, 75 million for punitive damages because, Rudy Giuliani hurt their feelings. And they got a medal from the president as a result of this. What is going on, guys?
$75 million in punitive damages. All after a federal judge already ruled this summer Giuliani defamed Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss with repeated made-up claims they were involved in election fraud during ballot counting.
The flame.
Was it made up? Was it made up now? Were they involved in this? The 300,000 votes that weren't signed?
Made-up claims they were involved in election fraud during ballot counting.
The flame that Giuliani lit with those lies changed every aspect of our lives.
Giuliani doubling down on his false claims when pressed by ABC News.
I have no doubt that my comments were made and they were supportable and are supportable today.
In court, both women told jurors the lies led to threats on their lives, racist messages, and intimidating voicemails.
You're going to jail, Ruby.
In tearful testimony before the January 6th committee last year, Freeman saying her very identity was lost.
I've lost my name and I've lost my reputation. I've lost my sense of security.
And they doubled down on the lies. I wonder if this will be overturned. What will be a result of this now that we have this information that came out from the voting committee or the voting board, the election board, saying that, yeah, maybe Rudy Giuliani was right. There was something going on here. Fani, we have questions.
Tonight, who bailed Rudy Giuliani out? So the former New York City mayor and Trump lawyer dodging trial today by reaching a surprise agreement with the two Georgia election workers he is convicted of defaming during the 2020 election. Now, the stunning announcement, by the way, came after a long, unexplained delay, as Giuliani was supposed to take the stand today because he was facing the threat of losing his $3.5 million Florida condo and several World Series rings from the New York Yankees. But he didn't show up to court. Instead, he posted this video of his dog at Mar-a-Lago, as reporters were sitting in the courtroom waiting for hours, wondering where he was. It was just sort of this bizarre mystery. And then all of a sudden comes this announcement today, a settlement. The Georgia election workers, Ruby Freeman and her daughter, Shay Moss, saying in a statement, quote, "We have agreed to allow Mr. Giuliani to retain his property in exchange for compensation and his promise not to ever defame us." Caitlin Polance is out front. I mean, Caitlin, this is pretty stunning. I mean, there was...
I guess I need to be careful about reporting on this. I don't want Shay Moss and her mama to come after me either.
An incredible amount of money at stake here. And I guess it appeared clear Giuliani wouldn't have that full amount. But then at the very last minute, everyone's sitting in the courtroom and then a last minute bailout after months of trying to hold on to things like those rings and apartments. So the big mystery today is who the heck bailed him out? What do you know?
Aaron, what a mystery. I've been asking many people, both sides involved in this case, and nothing. Nobody will say anything about how this happened, how it came about, if there is money that Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss are getting. But Aaron, if you step back and look at the situation as it stood for Rudy Giuliani going into today, where he could have lost that condo in Florida worth about $3.5 million and also the World Series rings worth a couple tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah. He only had about $10 million to his name, and they had already won the vast majority of it. He had even shipped them his luxury watch collection. They were pocketing all of these things, and then the settlement announcement comes. It says this concludes all of the litigation between Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. Those two women that Giuliani had defamed earned $150 million jury verdict. His appeals were basically dead in the water at this point in time in the courts, and they were continuing to win sanctions against Giuliani because he just wasn't complying with court orders. So
it'll be interesting to see if we now hear something from Rudy Giuliani coming up, maybe another appeal. Maybe this gets overturned as a result of seeing what the elections board had to say about how this was handled. Again, criminals. Who were the real criminals here? I want to know that for Fani Willis because she had a lot to say when it came to her election interference case. Now, what are we going to say about this? Because it's looking like the man who allegedly defamed these women had something there. There was something there, and now he's got a whole lot of information he can use in a potential next appeal. We'll have to wait and see. I want the lawyers in the community, our attorneys here on the channel, to let me know what they think in the comments and in the chat. Wow, y'all, crazy stuff. I gotta sneeze, hold on. All right, I think the sneezes are gone. Oh no, Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday's in the building, and you were right on time because we're just about to talk about Candace Owens again. Shout out to Taco Tuesday. Thank you to nearly 700 of you that have liked the video so far. Again, if y'all haven't liked the video, I'm going to continue to beg for likes until I'm no longer on YouTube. Likes are free, guys. All right. It helps the channel continue to grow. and it takes less than a second to do. I know y'all are going to have a good time here. Just like the video. Shout out to Taco Tuesday. Amy says, God bless you. Thank you, Amy, so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. May God continue to bless you. Let me see what y'all are saying in here. In my opinion, every single American voter should be outraged by this. Like, do people not understand? You know what? I'm going to answer my own question. People don't understand that this isn't really and doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a left or right thing. It's a wrong or right thing. What was done here, what happened here was clearly wrong. Clearly, that 2020 election was interfered with. Are we just going to brush off the fact that there were over 300,000 votes that weren't certified? 300,000. Are we just going to shrug that off? I agree. Every single American voter should be outraged by this. Left, right, black, white, whatever. It's insane. If someone don't go to jail, I'm not voting ever again. I don't blame you. What's the point? It's all a game. I'm not going to get into my thoughts on that whole system, but I don't blame you. If we're going to let this happen, if the freaking 45th president at the time of the United States can't even get any movement on this, his attorney is sued into oblivion because he comments about it. What are we going to be able to do? 300,000 votes that we're aware of. True. 36 out of 37 sites had issues. I mean, we talked about, if y'all didn't watch that video, go back and watch that video on the channel. I don't even remember what it's called now, just because I put out so much content. Was it this one? President Trump was right about Fani and the 2020 election. Because we break it down in that video. It's insane. Yeah, the statute of limitations has run on his appeal. I mean, I'm not an attorney. I feel like if there's new information that has come out, there may be something there, but to say that, hey, you just got to pay the 148 million, it's crazy. Trump only lost Georgia by 12,000 votes. Yeah, I think it was 11,005, which means he won Georgia, which means Biden was a goose. Yeah, I mean, I still think we don't know what the votes were for. That's the thing. They're saying those 300,000 votes are what cost Republicans the Senate and what gave the Democrats the power of the entire Senate in 2020. But still, we'll have to wait and see that information. I'm actually thinking about going through that entire hearing from the elections board. Was about, I mean, it was a pretty long meeting. So what I might do, if y'all haven't yet, make sure you go and subscribe to the Jury of Your Peers channel. Since we don't have a lot of a new trial starting this week, I may go ahead and live stream or restream that hearing that they had with the elections board, because I've got the video. I think it would be good for everybody to view that, and I kind of want to watch the whole thing too, because I think there's a lot of information that's missing and hasn't been parsed through just because it was a long meeting. Excuse me, y'all. I want to see if there's something else he says. The fact that Ann, the attorney, said that, yeah, this was a major violation of the rules, we're sorry about that, and just shrugged it off, was crazy. Ridiculous. How are voters expected to trust our elections? And that's what Rudy Giuliani was saying at the beginning, and why he got sued into oblivion, because he questioned how these elections were being run. So you think on this little YouTube channel, 150,000 of y'all, that I don't know. We're going to keep talking about it though. No lies detected. We need jail/prison time ASAP. Yeah, they said, oopsie. Sorry about that, guys. It's just 300,000 votes. Not a big deal. It's a money grab. Yeah, they got paid too. I don't know if there's anything, again, I don't know if there's anything Rudy Giuliani can do at this point. Rudy Giuliani tweeting, "I told you so" was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to say? 3 words. Told you so. I tried to tell y'all. You didn't believe me. I believed them. I remember when that all went down because I remember the video of his dog. He posted the video of his dog. I said, man, he knows you're fighting a losing battle and we're not going to find out anything about this until several years later. Here we are 5 years later. You've got finally the elections board saying, yeah, we might have messed up. It's just 300,000 votes, guys. Y'all are tripping. Crazy stuff, man. All right. Oh man, I got to apologize to Taco Tuesday because he's about sick of Candace Owens. I'm sorry, Taco Tuesday. Candace is back. We got to talk about Candace. And we might have a little smoke for Candace Owens. I need to find a picture of Candace because I'm tired of I need to leave Charlie Kirk alone, man. I keep putting Charlie Kirk up here. He's got, well, somewhat to do with this. It's really the whole reason we're talking about Candace. But we'll get into it. Amy said 100%. Yeah. All right, here we go. So there is some new information and honestly, possibly some more beef between Candace Owens and someone who I considered a supporter of hers. I think Candace even mentioned that Alex Jones was someone that she entrusted with information in case something happened to her. Don't quote me on that. I would have to go back and look at the live stream where she said that and named a couple of people that she was close to. But either way, Alex Jones is seemingly with Taco Tuesday and says that he's just had enough of Candace Owens and the information that she's putting out is false. So what we're going to do, we're going to hear from Alex Jones. We're going to hear from Candace Owens. We're going to hear from someone over on X who actually broke down the recent interview Candace Owens did with a gentleman named Mitch, who was supposedly at a meeting shortly before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And he said Turning Point USA's head of security was at this meeting. Several high-ranking military officials were at this meeting and potentially Erica Kirk. So let's see what Alex Jones has to say about this. He says, oh man, please pray for Candace Owens. Report set to drop in the next 24 hours. Never thought I'd be talking about Alex Jones, but here we are. What does he have to say?
As most of you that pay attention know, I am not the internet police. I don't infight. I don't try to focus on what other people are theorizing about or doing. I try to focus on what I'm doing. And so it's with a heavy heart that I am forced to put out another report, either tonight or tomorrow morning. We're adding a lot of information right now, a lot more research, dealing with Candace Owens.
Oh, no.
Just as soon as the whole Egyptian plane thing gets debunked with all the facts, now she's moved to something else, and I'm really worried about her. I'm worried about her and her mind, and I'm also worried about the country and where this is going. It's good to question Charlie Kirk's assassination. I have big questions. We know Cash Patel covered up an investigation into accomplices. I broke that up before it hit the mainstream news. So I'm not saying no question. But her latest source and what she's done, implicating the U.S. military and all this other stuff, is just so damaging. And when you go investigate it, it's so crazy. And just like with the Egyptian plane, she says she has the metadata, then publish it. And when she did publish it,
she will.
And it got fact-checked, it wasn't accurate. Candace, we care about you. But you just doubled down again with something even more absurd. And I hate watching you destroy yourself like this. We'll be covering it all with the reports coming out at Real Jones on X, on Rumble, and Infowars.com. God bless you all.
Dang, Alex Jones said Candace done messed up. Well, we're now going to hear from Alex Jones and see exactly what he has to say in the realm of debunking Candace Owens' reports. So, Alex Jones says Candace Owens' Egyptian plane theory and her interview with the whistleblower Mitch Snow, who we talked about here on the channel, are horse crap. Dang. Is he right? Is Candace right? Is Mitch lying? Let's see.
So people are saying to me, oh, you don't want to look at accomplices. You don't want to investigate. That's not what I said. The Egyptian plane thing, we went and had it checked. Others did. We put out the findings. Was complete horsepucky. And now this new guy pops up, says he's on Fort Huachuca in Arizona, and goes into a room with 12 colonels and all these people and the head of TPUSA security. And you go, look, all Grok has is stuff he's claimed. I've been gang stalked. I've been this. I've been held prisoner in a garage and beat with hammers and, and all this craziness. They don't decide to kill you a day before at Fort Huachuca, and a guy randomly walks in, and there's 12 colonels in a room, and Erica Kirk's there. And she didn't say Erica Kirk was there. He didn't say Erica Kirk was there until he went on Candace. He goes, and I've got something new to tell you. Not only was there the head of TPUSA security, there was the day before the killing. It was Erica Kirk. I'll never forget.
Yeah, he said, what did he say? He's like, those eyes. You cannot forget those eyes.
Get those eyes.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. Yes, that's how the government, if they're doing this, would have those people. I mean, you know nothing about how that stuff even works. I've studied it historically. So it's absolute horse crap. Charlie Kirk's body wasn't even cold yet. And people said Israel did it, just put out that was the narrative. And I saw on international Islamic TV, scholars going, well, we want to go after Israel, so we put that idea out first. Now, has Israel ever killed U.S. citizens? Does Israel get involved in our politics? Is Israel saying there's an 8-front war here to control speech? Was Charlie starting to say, I'm not going to do what Netanyahu says? Yeah. Could Israel have killed him? I said, yeah, but I need to see some evidence. You have Tyler Robinson and 10 of the local trannies saying he'll be.
He called him. Oh my God. All right. And this is where Alex starts to go off the rails. So Alex is basically saying what Candace Owens said about having Mitch on the show was false. All this was made up. And now we're going to get into an amazing breakdown about this from Even Kilgore over on X. Someone who is also an avid fan of Candace Owens, had this to say and somewhat called her out about this. Evan says, based on everything I'm seeing, it looks like Mitch was a total fraud on Candace Owens' show tonight and likely straight up lied about who he saw at Fort H. Evan says, there are reports that Mitch Snow is a fraudster, has domestic violence charges, and has conflicting life stories. I could be wrong, but there are articles and videos where what he's saying just wouldn't add up to what he told Candace about in the past, and he's got it all here. Evan also says there are just a lot of questionable details to this man's life story. This one just feels right to me based on what I'm seeing so far. Sorry if this disappoints you guys. If I'm proved wrong, I'll admit it, but it's not looking good. So what does he have? They say he's a retired staff sergeant, Mitch Snow, and it's on his platform. Then it shows more information about his criminal history. We're not going to get into that too much. I'm not trying to get sued. Also, somebody said on his Rumble account on the show that he hosts over there, it says, this is Mitch Snow. Thank you all for reaffirming that there is still good people on this earth. It has been an isolating journey attempting to clear my name and get justice for my son. I cannot count how many hopeless nights I've spent in agony crying over having failed to protect myself and my son from all this fraud, perjury, and corruption. I will be the first to tell anyone I'm not that big of a deal. I go to church. I pray for all these people. I engage in charities. I want my son with me as I do. I want to take him fishing and to Disneyland. They have stolen him from me and him from etc. And then there's more information about Mitch and his education. Now, Candace had something to say about this, as I'm sure she follows Evan. And she said, this ain't it. He was factually there. He factually stayed at the hotel he said he did. He factually stumbled upon a meeting in the exact building at the exact time he said. Again, guys, I want to believe it. I want to buy it. But this is the same man who said he stumbled upon the tunnels that were found by the cartel, that were used by the cartel to traffic drugs. I don't know, man. But Candace is saying she stands by it. She's done her research. Who are you going to believe? We confirmed Captain Neff was also factually there with the exact brigade he mentioned. So what are you disproving here? Try to debunk the fact of what he said happened on 9/8 and 9/9. I mean, what do you want him to do? Call Erica Kirk and say, hey, Erica, were you there with a hoodie? Did you see this guy, Mitch? Or focus on trying to confirm a schedule from Brian Harpole, who was in charge of security, which I am doing right now, Candace says. All that is left to confirm is who was factually at the meeting. Everything else he contributed was fully factual. Now we get a response from Evan about what Candace said. And I think this is interesting. Evan says, Candace, I want to say all of this because I genuinely support you and have probably been one of the top voices on X doing so. That is true. I don't dispute the fact that he was at Camp H the days prior to Charlie Kirk's death. I believe that actually. I believe he even stumbled across something that he shouldn't have and was interrogated for it. What? If y'all say so. I do, however, question this man's background and who he says he is based on publicly available articles and videos. If this blurb is true and that he was medically discharged to an army medic due to injury, then we have to question the integrity of everything else he says. Good point. Maybe it's the story he was given in witness protection. That's possible. There are also articles and videos of him on Rumble and YouTube discussing his child custody battles and sharing things about his personal life while in a sling from earlier this year. I also just saw a video of him discussing his scuba diving adventures in 2017 without the sling. Maybe he has a recent injury earlier this year, but I'm not trying to disprove anything truly. I want answers and what is best for the investigation and don't want bad faith actors to discredit you for 15 minutes of fame. That's fair as well. Look at Evan looking out for Candace. If, and I say if, this man's past is disproven, then it casts serious doubts on if he can be honest about what he saw on that day. I mean, not to mention this man did say he was in special forces or he was involved in some type of special forces. So maybe there's a reason part of this is being left out or some things don't make sense. Who knows? I knew I would get hate for being skeptical of this man's claims, and that's okay. This is the first time I've been skeptical and have a bit of questions about the guy myself. I want to know more about this guy and his past before I can believe who he says he believes he saw. Yes, continue building a timeline of where the key figures are on those dates. I'm all for it. I say my reserves with love and respect, and know I will be absolutely shredded apart for saying them publicly. But again, I do know I support you and have from the beginning. Oh, look at Evan supporting Candace. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I will say this. When it comes to this information, I think this is, if this was a high level meeting, if this meeting did happen, it's going to be tough to get information. Erica obviously didn't give Candace Owens information on this, which is why she had to go to Mitch, who quote unquote stumbled across the meeting. We're not going to hear from anyone who was involved in the meeting. We're not going to hear from the head of security. We're not going to hear from the high rankings officials, but it is interesting. And maybe there is someone on the outside who was parking the cars that could say something about this. We'll have to wait and see. And last but not least, Candace did have a response to this, and of course had something she wanted to say about everyone who is doubting the claims of Mitch Snow. Candace says she doesn't know if she can totally rely on Mitch Snow's memory about who he saw at Camp H. Okay, so now Candace saying, maybe you're right, but reaffirms he was there the days prior to Charlie Kirk's death. She says we shouldn't focus on the past, but rather proving the claims of who he allegedly saw. Well, I mean, if you're bringing up someone as a credible insider, I mean, their past is important, I would think. To do the same thing in court.
I said,
I don't know if we can rely entirely on the memory of one person who believes that he saw these individuals. But what I can say is that we verified 1,000% that he was where he said he was, that there was a meeting where he says that there was a meeting. We verified that Captain Neff was there, the one that he says was nice, but he got questioned for a very long time and they wanted to hold him for 24 hours. So everything else that people are trying to dig up about Mitch, you can just ignore. Okay, that is a distraction, right? The only way that you can help debunk anything that he has said is to say, oh, actually, I was the person that was there. It wasn't.
I don't like this from Candace at all. Ignore the past. What if this guy was like Nick Renner? I always pronounce his name. Nick Reiner, excuse me. What if he was diagnosed with some mental health disease? I mean, that's going to be important, right? Why was he discharged? What was going on? What happened to this man in his life? Is he looking for 15 minutes of fame? Is he clout chasing? I mean, his past is important and matters for sure.
That is a distraction, right? The only way that you can help debunk anything that he has said is to say, oh, actually, I was the person that was there. It wasn't this congressman, it was me. Or I was staying at the Candlewood Inn and Suites and I saw this couple or, these two individuals in the hotel as well. And it was actually somebody else. It was my cousin. We are looking only for somebody to debunk those two aspects, okay? Because he was where he says he was, and everything else we have verified. Ignore the noise and stay focused on that note.
All right, so Candace Owens is saying, hey, don't worry about his past. Just listen to what he was saying if he was there. I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. I think that's an important part of someone who you're propping up as a credible witness. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments and in the chat. Thank y'all, man. Shout out for y'all for hanging in there. I know Taco Tuesday is hurting right now. Said, I'm done with Candace for 2025. I'm so over her. She's the only one investigating this. She's the only one who cares about the truth, man. We have to follow this. And we have to be there to look at and break down the information ourselves because no one else is giving this information. No one else is looking into this. And it's sad and it's unfortunate because there's clearly a lot of questions about Charlie Kirk that need to be answered and a lot of information that's just being hidden, to be honest. Shout out to my beautiful, awesome, amazing Amy in here. Gotta give her the horn. Dropping the cake in the building. Shout out to Amy, just reminding me she's got the cakiest cake in the world and is always supporting, showing love. And that it's almost lunchtime. Thank you, Amy, for the love. I appreciate you for the cake. Yes, for the cake and the pineapple. Yeah. Hey, yo. Oh, thank y'all for watching. Shout out to Keith. Good to see you in here for a live stream, Keith. Appreciate you. You always comment on the videos and say what's up from Chi-Town out there in Chicago, Illinois. I know y'all are probably freezing right now, so be safe out there in Chicago. I had one more thing I wanted to get into, but we might save that for tomorrow's live stream. I won't want to do it too late because it is somewhat of a holiday specific video. Dang, you know what? I actually might do it. Let's see if we can do it. We've got a little bit of time. So let's go ahead and get into this last one. This is insane. Shout out to Amy for sending me this. If y'all haven't subscribed to Amy's channel yet, please do that. She has a lot of wild, crazy, insane, intense body cam footage over there. And some of the stories that we've seen on Amy's channel are absolutely crazy. But we're going to actually get into one here that she sent me that I thought was very timely, especially considering it was the holidays. This story is really sad. I'm going to get Judge Whitaker up here because I don't have a picture of the dudes who were involved in this. So we're going to talk about it here real quick, and then I'll let y'all get out of here. Again, thank you so much to everybody who supported and liked the video. Over 900 of y'all, man. Thank you guys. Seriously, it helps out so much. It helps out a ton. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. This is terribly sad. Yes, I agree, Amy's. This is wild. So with the holidays coming up, I know a lot of us, we're doing some last minute shopping. We're getting a lot of packages delivered. And this video we're going to look at, it is a video about a tragic incident that happened with some fake delivery drivers and a family who was a victim to these guys and their fraud, and eventually ended in them losing their lives. Now, I bring this up now because it's the holidays, want everyone to be careful, want everyone to be safe. I have even personally seen people affected by this type of situation, and it gets wild. So let's go ahead and get into the video. I'll leave a link to the full video in the description for y'all so you can watch the whole thing. Check this out. Sad, man.
Hey, come here, kid. Come here, buddy. Come here.
On January 26, 2024, a family of 5, a father, a mother, their 20-year-old son, and 2 young children under the age of 5, were living a normal day inside their home on 94th Avenue Northwest in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, completely unaware of what was coming their way, as a navy blue Nissan Altima pulled up outside, and 3 suspects stepped out, 2 of them dressed in UPS-style uniforms, pretending to be delivery workers while secretly planning a robbery. A plan that would, within minutes, explode into a brutal encounter that would shock the entire community.
Our coverage is
crazy.
This exclusive video was first obtained by Midwest Crime and has never been seen by the public before.
Shout out to Midwest Crime. So you already see this guy's dressed up in UPS garb, UPS uniforms, and then they pulled up in a Nissan. I mean, if y'all don't know about the Nissan, I won't get into it and stereotyping, but god damn, man, this is sad.
One of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup.
And the crazy thing is they were about to leave and try somebody else's house. Isn't that crazy?
Ain't no big dog, is it? Ain't no big dog, is it? Not yet. Who's big dog? Hey, check it out. Come on, don't move. Don't move. Move your hand. Move your hand. Open the window. Move like that. Wait. Open the door.
No signaling the other guy to come in.
The home security camera captures the 3rd suspect come up the driveway after he's waved in by the other men.
Wow.
Come on.
It's crazy, man.
I swear on the Una pistola, mijo. Tienen una pistola, amigo. 2 morenos. Mom, yeah. Yes, please. Don't do anything, please.
The mother managed to call 911, leaving the line open so dispatchers could hear what was happening as the chaos unfolded.
911, this is the emergency. Hello? Oh my gosh. Give me the money. And I ain't playing. Look. Thank him and I wake up. I know. Hey, Mario Alberto. Come on with the money, man. Okay. Ow. Stop playing with me. Ow. Give me the money. Okay. I'm going to smack out you. I will give you whatever you want. Go give me the money then. Okay. Come on. You get where you move to.
Oh my God. I'm getting up.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna smack the out your son.
Oh, okay, I'm going.
Come on in. Okay. All right, where the money? Go get it. Get it. Go get it.
It's right here.
Get it. Come on, open it.
That's crazy.
Don't move.
Yeah, hurry up.
Just hold on. Sit down. If you move,
They're moving the kids out of the way and everything.
open. Where is it? This ain't all. Man, you finna play with me, so I gotta get out of here.
No, please don't. That's all the money we have.
This ain't nothing.
That's all we have.
Okay.
Now the way that they're talking, it sounds like they might have known what was going on either in the house or they knew who these people were. Maybe someone owed someone money. Crazy.
That's all we have. Oh my God, that's all we have. Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. That's all we have. Oh my God.
With no mercy, one of the intruders turns on the father, 39-year-old Mario Alberto Trejo Estrada, and a single shot to the head ends his life in the entryway of the home.
Y'all be careful out there.
I have money for you. Where are my babies? Where are my babies? I have money for you. Where are my babies?
And the kids saw that whole thing. Tragic, man.
The terrifying footage continues as the intruders turn their violence toward the mother and her 20-year-old son, all while the two young children are still in the home. The victims are later identified as 42-year-old Shannon Patricia Youngworth and her son, 20-year-old Jorge Alexander Reyes Youngworth. Leaving the two young children in a state of unimaginable trauma, the intruders rushed to destroy evidence before fleeing the scene, unaware that nearly every moment of their crime had already been captured on camera.
Dumb.
Meanwhile, inside the home, a heartbreaking act of bravery unfolds. The older child, despite being just a toddler himself, pulls his little sibling away, shielding them from the sight of their mother on the floor. A moment of pure innocence and instinct, leaving investigators and everyone who later watched this footage stunned.
Terrible.
Just minutes later, officers arrive at the house after being dispatched to the 911 call placed by the mother, unaware of what they are about to walk into.
Police department! I heard kids screaming in there. Police department! 1409, give us the channel for now. I got a male down on the ground. I got blood.
Can I have a police? Police department!
Hey, come here, kid. Come here, buddy. Come here.
On that part, hopefully they didn't show the kid the gun, because after seeing what happened to his mother and his grandfather, I mean, can you imagine the police coming there with guns, not knowing what's going to happen?
Come here. Yep. I think they're dead. Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy.
Whole family is gone.
Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. So he's through the kitchen. Hey, buddy. I can see his diaper now. He's a little closer. No, he's pretty far in there. You see his diaper? See on the ground.
I can't see past it.
Yep. Stay with the kid for now. We're going to get you another kid here in a second. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Come here, buddy.
Because again, police are smart, how they're trained. You see a kid like this, could be a setup for another attack. The kid, you go in there after the kid, and then, yeah, you never know.
Come here. Come here. Come here. I need you to come with me.
We're trying to get the kid out.
Come here, bud. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here.
I got candies. Come on.
Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay.
Come on.
Come here. Come here, kiddo.
And the
Come here, kiddo.
grandfather's right there.
Come here.
1309, you've got 2 more cars from this area. 31.
Come here, bud.
After rescuing the 2 young children, officers were faced with a horrifying scene. 3 victims, each killed by a gunshot wound to the head. The house was immediately secured, and investigators began meticulously collecting evidence, including physical items and surveillance footage from cameras throughout the home, in an effort to identify the perpetrators. The navy blue Nissan Altima was traced to 39-year-old Alonzo Pierre Mingo, who was arrested later that day after being spotted leaving his Fridley residence. Further investigation, including home surveillance, DNA evidence, and cell phone records, led law enforcement to the 2 other suspects, brothers Omari Malik Shumpert and Demetrius Trenton Shumpert, both of whom were arrested shortly thereafter. All the evidence, from security footage to forensic and digital data, pointed directly to the Shumpert brothers, who had tried to cover their faces, leading straight to the interrogations.
Do you know the incident on Dr.
And I'm not going to go through the entire interrogations because it's going to be hard to watch. But again, a terrible situation. And I think a good reminder going into the holidays. Y'all be careful out there, please. You just never know. Don't let your guard down because you don't want to fall victim to some demons like this. Great reminder for all of us. Have your security system set up. Have things in place. Talk about it with your kids because you just never know what type of situation you could run into. I will leave a link to this full video. Shout out to Midwest Crime for getting access to this exclusive footage so y'all can go over there and watch the full content. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and in the chat. Thank y'all for the love, man. Shout out to the gang, everybody in here. Over 1,000 of you have liked the video so far, and shout out to Amy for sending that in as well. Evil. As a mother of 4, I'm heartbroken by this. Those poor babies, OMG. The evil in this world sickening. Over some money. And maybe there was more to it than that, but man, to take out the whole family, I see it too often. Thank y'all for the support. Thank you all for the love. Big shout out to my awesome, amazing Amy for gifting the memberships and dropping the super chat. Again, if y'all got a membership, make sure you say thank you to Amy. Also, make sure you go over and subscribe to her channel as well. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. We're going to be dropping some content as we go throughout the day as well. So if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time we go live and drop a new video. I'll see some of y'all over on the Song of the Night live tonight. If you enjoy music from independent artists, especially independent artists in the community, make sure you stop by and check that out. I will see y'all later. As always, you know what to do. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We go. Peace.